Hey everyone, welcome to my very first video on this channel, not including the intro, of course. I welcome you to my channel, whoever's out there watching. I decided to open up this channel for DIY repairs, and if anybody, whoever viewed my first video knows what I'm here to do, what I'm setting out to try to do. So, right now, I am actually working on this, my Sony home audio system, whatever. I bought it, I don't remember how long ago, but thing is that there was a little bit of a noise it was making with the fan in the back, and so just one night it just randomly appeared. Anyway, I had brought it in, taken it apart, and figured out what the problem was. It's just all it was is the fan was sitting there vibrating. It was just, fans over time they get wore out. Eventually they start making a little bit of racket. They start vibrating a little more. Something comes a little bit loose. Anyway, it making a little bit of noise, enough to where it was it's quite a bit louder than you would expect from a home audio system, because it stays on standby, so that fan is consistently going. So something you don't want would be a fan noise going on when it's supposed to be off, or when it shouldn't be making a noise. You shouldn't hear anything at all. If you hear anything, little bit. Anyway, what I did was I took off that whole back plate, and I had to, all these screws right here are the ones that hold it into the back plate. It doesn't just sit in there. It actually mounts to the back of the back plate. So the vibrations, when the fan's sitting there vibrating, it's the vibrations are going straight through that thin material on the back and amplifies it. And as you could imagine, that gets quite annoying. So what I'm going to do here is take it apart and show you what I did the first time. By the way, fun fact, if you are working on something or taking something apart that has an oddly great amount of screws in it, just to take a little bit off, put it in a container. Seriously. It seems like such a simple thing to comprehend, but I don't know how many screws in the past that I've lost, and I didn't think of putting them into something until after the fact. So I've kind of caught on over the years. I'm a little slow, I guess. Anywho, what I'm working with here is, alright, see that space in between there? Like I said, this is screwed onto the back plate. This right here, I've got these little styrofoam cushion type things. Put it in. Sorry about that light. I'm gonna work on that. I plan on getting some little better equipment for this kind of thing. Since I have decided to start doing this, I'm going to start getting better recording equipment to do this. Off topic. I've got this, if I can find it now, unprepared. I've got this, it's like a foam type stuff that I figured I would cut little tiny squares out and put it on the four corners of the fan to absorb that vibration. So I cut those little square pieces out. I screwed them into the plate and screwed them into the fan, and that way they were nice and they weren't going anywhere. They're sturdy between the fan and the back plate of the unit. Well, that did work. And, I mean, I haven't heard anything, though my wife says she has. So what I'm going to do is take it back apart and figure out why exactly I'm still having more noise. What I should do first is plug it in, turn it on. Really, I don't have to turn it on, but I need to plug it in and see exactly if it is making noise like she says it is. And as it turns out, it is making noise again. See, when I first did it, honestly, I don't know if it's because I undid all the screws, if it loosened that material up to where it can vibrate more with the top cover off. But either way, it's still making noise, and I don't like it. When I first did it, it stopped making noise. I ran it before I took it back inside, and it was fine. No noise, no problems, really quiet. But now it's managed to wiggle itself back into a vibration. So I'm going to try to figure out if I should add more of that foam material I was talking about, or if there's another route that I could possibly take to keep that from making as much noise. And just to give you an inside look about what I did, those 4 pads are what I put over those holes. That gives you a good idea of what I tried to do there, and it's still making all that noise. So hopefully right now I can fix that problem and get this thing back inside, because honestly, I'd much rather have it inside than in here. Obviously. But I'm going to try to work something out and see if it works. So here, all I really did was replace the material that I put between the fan and the back plate. And I don't know if you can hear anything. It's a lot quieter than it was, but it's still making a little bit of noise. So I took a really close look at it to see what could possibly making that noise still, and it turns out that part of the inside of the fan is a little cracked. I don't know how, but it is. So I'm just gonna make a trip tomorrow to the store, look for a new fan, see if I can find a new fan, and go at it that way. I'm pretty sure that is the reason why I still have noise. But other than that, it's pretty well fixed. It's a lot quieter than it was. All I had to do was put more of that material in, which I found all of it. And it is, I'm not quite sure what it is honestly, but what I have is this. It's like a styrofoamish kind of stuff. It's got some thickness to it, really. But it works. It acts as a cushion. It absorbs some of that vibration, and honestly, it works. It works pretty well. But yeah, I'm happy with it again. It's back to the way it was for the time being. It'll eventually come back, because what I did, I put some of that material inside the fan, to see if I could cushion on the inside. I wish I should have shown you when I did it, but I cut that material in half, spliced it, and put it on the inside of the fan to see if that would work. It didn't. But so I did the same thing to the edge of the fan, and that seemed to quiet it down some more. So it's just new material, more material, but it works for me. Like I said in my last video, I'm not legitimate. I'm not a professional. This is how I do stuff. It does come with a lot of trial and error, because I'm not working with the best stuff. I'm going with what I have in my cabinet or my toolbox or whatever's on my shelf that I could possibly fix it with. Or unless I just think of it real quick, I can go to the store and see if they've got what I need. But a lot of the time I have something laying around that I can fix it with. Not a really hard job to figure out, honestly, but it was giving you an example. What this video was about was giving you an example about what I do. And I realized that I've gone over the time that I've given you in the first video, but it turns out sometimes these things are a little lengthier than planned. Plus, I don't have the equipment to edit these videos and cut them down. I know on this I can shorten it, but as far as I know, I can't go in there and edit everything to try to cut it as much as I can. And as far as lighting goes, I'm sorry if it's bad. It's what I got to work with right now. As I've said before, this is a work in progress. This is not permanent. I'm trying to get it to where it's a little better work area to be in. I am happy for one thing, that wood burning oven that I have in here does keep it quite warm. And when it's actually going. But anyway, I'll get better at my videos. This is the first time actually doing anything like this, so I appreciate everybody for whoever watches. And I'm going to work on how I'm going to do my videos, but being my first official video, I'm doing what I can. So if anything, give me a few pointers for any of those that have been doing this for a while. Give me some tips. I mean, I'm open to suggestions. Sorry. I'll take criticism. Well, I'm not gonna get all grumpy if I don't like what you said about what I've done or anything like that. So, if you got a comment, shout out to me. I'm open ears. I'll listen. I'll take a few pointers, and I'll try to make these videos a bit better. I'm going on almost 15 minutes now. So, subscribe. I also have a Google Plus, and I'm working on a Facebook page right now. So hit me up on Google Plus, Facebook. Subscribe to my channel. There's more videos coming, and I'll see you next time.